You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Greetings and welcome to episode 306 of the Rusted Robot Podcast for Sunday, September the 13th, 2020.
My name is Optimus Prime.
Hello, I am C-3PO Human Cyborg Relations.
I am Locutus, a Borg.
You're like a machine underneath, right? But sort of alive outside?
I'm a cybernetic organism, living tissue over a metal endoskeleton.
I'm an android.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
Counterfeit, facsimile, replica.
We need some sort of robot. Ah, crap! I'm some sort of robot.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Kitty.
How are we doing?
It's been a rough week. Neither Katie nor I have been sleeping too well.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think it's the weather change.
It could be. It's getting awful cold at night.
Yeah.
And it's getting darker sooner. Welcome to Weathercast! Alright, so we're trying something new. We've got a boom mic, so the microphone is in the middle of all three of us. We're in your basement at the Rusted Robot headquarters. Hopefully the sound quality is awesome. I guess we'll know when it comes to editing.
Well, you will.
I will.
Definitely.
Because you guys probably won't listen back.
I do sometimes.
Do you sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah? And what do you think of that?
It's not bad.
Do you like hearing your own voice?
No.
No?
No. I sound like an alien child.
You don't, though?
I do.
Oh. Do you think she does?
I don't. If I listen to her all day,
Oh,
she doesn't stop.
No.
It's true.
You're incessant?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
I just learned to accept it.
It's probably your best bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you took up making mead and listening to other things on earpods.
I also do that, but that's not why.
They're not connected.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Ha ha ha. So it's been a couple weeks since we recorded the last episode.
Yes. And I noticed you added the amendment right afterwards.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes, because we lost poor Chadwick after we recorded. So I was like, well, I can't leave it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I threw that in there as I was editing.
Chadwick wasn't died from cancer.
But you knew that.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah, so that was a big shock. Surprising
It was,
news.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what that means for Black Panther 2, we don't know.
One of two things. They don't do Black Panther 2.
Yeah.
Or they find a replacement.
Right.
In the comics, that one girl becomes Black Panther anyway.
Yes, but you need to transition it. You need to find a way to just change it over.
It would be ideal, but that's what happens in the comics. So.
He wouldn't be the first character to be replaced. I'm
the
thinking,
Hulk and the Hulk and the Hulk.
And Rhodey?
I was thinking more Rhodey, yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it's similar to when Anton Yelchin, who played Chekhov in the rebooted Star Trek series, he passed. And they haven't done a Star Trek 4 yet, but they didn't know what to do with his character either.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a similar... What are we going to do now?
Yeah. Although, isn't Disney mostly done with their Marvel thing? Like, they've finished their arc?
No, they're continuing on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And because...
Isn't there like 21 movies?
Yes.
That's a lot of movies.
And they're still making billions of dollars.
And they've still got plans for Phase 5 and 6.
I guess why stop a good thing, right?
Yeah. As long as they maintain quality, they'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is when they finally falter. That will happen when they don't have a plan.
And then they start becoming Land Before Time?
No, then they become Star Wars.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which is like
they did something really good, and then they didn't have a plan, and it fell apart.
Yeah.
That's a cautionary tale for you right there.
Yeah.
Land Before Time was really good, though.
The first movie was really good. The rest of it was trash.
Yeah, the rest of it was trash.
Like, it was trash from the second movie.
The first movie was gold, though. Absolute gold.
Yeah.
You've seen it, haven't you?
I've seen neither of them.
You haven't
You've never
seen Land
seen it?
Before Time? What's wrong
None
with
of the
you?
14 or 15 movies.
You can ignore all but the first one. Watch the first one.
I know, it's about dinosaurs and they're walking and stuff.
Oh, it's so sad.
I watched it as the first movie I remember watching in theaters.
That's the first movie I remember watching in theaters, too. Isn't it a John Bluth movie?
I don't remember offhand. No, I don't think so.
It's drawn the same way.
Maybe. But I don't remember.
I have it upstairs.
You should watch it, Sean.
Maybe that's...
Everybody write in and tell Sean he has to watch the original Land Before Time. Not the rest of them.
No.
Just the first one.
Maybe for episode 350 we'll drunk watch Land Before Time.
No, you can't watch it drunk, you'll cry.
Oh.
It's a sad movie.
It makes me cry.
That'll be podcast gold, hearing my tears on the podcast.
I don't know if that's what people are tuning in for.
people aren't tuning in, so it really doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, I guess. It's really sad, though.
It's kind of robot related. Is my Cylon crooked?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, it looks crooked to me.
We're referencing your Target Cylon poster.
Yeah,
yes.
It looks crooked to me.
I don't think it's crooked.
I think it might be the shadow of the rocking chair.
I think you're fine.
Oh,
You've been drinking too much mead.
but I barely had any today.
It's too much.
Are you cut off?
No.
Apparently.
Nah.
Well, I gotta bottle more stuff before I can drink it anyways.
That's true. You do. You do got to bottle some more things. So should we keep witty bantering, or should we get into some pop culture? What do you think?
Alright, let's get into some pop culture.
Okay.
Who died?
Diana Rigg, actually. Game of Thrones and James Bond actress, dies at the age of 82. So, Diana Rigg, who is known for roles in franchises like Game of Thrones, James Bond, and The Avengers, not the Marvel Avengers, the ones from the 60s, the British TV series, died at the age of...
The one with the hat saw.
I don't know, I never saw it.
Threw a bowler hat.
No, that's James Bond.
Okay, so anyway, we're not sure of the cause of death yet, but our thoughts are with her family and friends at this difficult time. Rigg brought characters like Olenna Tyrell from Game of Thrones, Tracy de Vincenza on Her Majesty's Secret Service, and Emma Peel in The Avengers to life on the big and small screen, and she will be greatly missed. Rigg was nominated for an Emmy several times for her work in these projects, including 3 different times for the role of Olenna in 2013, 14, and 15, but she was also nominated for her turn as Peel in The Avengers. And there's quite a big article here. I'm not going to read it all, but recent projects included Victoria, All Creatures Great and Small, and The Snail and the Whale. She also had 2 projects in development, including Last Night in Soho and Black Narcissus. She was a powerful actress, and she'll be missed. And she played quite a nasty Olenna Tyrell in Game of Thrones, if you've seen that show.
I only know her from the memes.
Only from the memes?
But that's only because I didn't watch Game of Thrones beyond season 1.
Oh.
No, we watched season 2.
Did we?
We did.
I don't even remember it.
We watched it. Ruth was coming over once a week.
Oh. I remember Ned Stark lost his head and then I lost interest.
And that was enough for you?
Yep.
Oh. All right. Well, that's all I've got for celebrity deaths. So
that's good.
That's a good one. That's a quick short one. But going back to the whole Black Panther and Wakanda and stuff, did you hear that Akon, he announced plans for a $6 billion real-life Wakanda in Senegal?
Yep, I read about that.
You did?
Okay, so what is his plans?
It says here, music mogul Akon is bringing Black Panther to life by building a city based on Wakanda. The recording artist announced his plans on social media and is already a third of the way toward raising the $6 billion needed to complete the city.
It's the layout and architecture.
Yeah, you're still going to need more than $6 billion.
Not if it's very small. They didn't say if it was going to be to scale for people.
I assume he's trying to build the city. And I'm assuming he wants it to be a high-tech super city like in the thing. $6 billion is nowhere near enough.
Well, here's his description on the website, and they're calling it Akon City. So, the developed economy aims to adapt future development. The current evolution required a flexible infrastructure to accommodate new real estate development. The fast pace of global changes, economic progress, poverty, and technology race continuously, causing Senegal to face various new challenges. Akon City will play a vital role in the quest for solutions to these challenges. The knowledge we generate and the professionals that we train are expected, and quite rightly, to help in providing local solutions as well as a critical component of human development. That really doesn't say anything?
Yeah, that's a lot of buzzwords.
Yeah. It goes on to say, it's these professionals and individuals who develop the capacity and analytical skills that drive local economies, create new industries, support civil society, lead capable governments, and make critical decisions that will affect the entire economy. So still didn't say anything.
No, that is saying they want to bring in brain trust. But that's not saying much about what his plans actually are.
No.
Not for $6 billion. You can do about $6 billion worth of damage in Timmins.
What if they were just going to, just make it look like the city from the outside of the buildings? You know, like they did North Korea?
From what I'm hearing, he's not trying to make Wakanda. That's an editor putting a fancy headline on it. He's trying to build up a city into a economic powerhouse so that it can drive the economy in that region by building an area that would draw in people with a brain trust. But that's different than trying to build Wakanda.
He's just trying to build a futuristic city in Africa.
That's still going to require a lot more than $6 billion.
Yeah, I would imagine so. But he's a third of the way there, apparently.
So, like, he needs more money, and he needs it spread out over time. Because that's a continuous investment. You don't want to sit with, like, a giant chunk of cash. That's going to dwindle real quick. You need a steady income of cash. I don't know what their exact plans are. It doesn't sound like enough money to me.
I guess it remains to be seen, if anything even happens at all.
Yeah. Sounds like they went to a financial advisor for business.
But he wants Senegal to be the first stop that Europeans and Americans go to in Africa. He wants to make it a hub.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But
although that seems counter to what he was saying in building a brain trust type situation, where they put a bunch of smart people in an area to innovate and develop. That is different than drawing people in as tourism.
Yeah.
Those two, while not incompatible, do not generally work on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
And what you do to draw attention to your area is not the same thing that you do to build a brain trust.
Yeah, it's the difference between Disney World and NASA.
Yeah. They're both in Florida, but that's...
They're not the same thing.
Exactly.
No, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's a neat idea. And hopefully he gets something going. So we have more to talk about in a few years.
Sure. I wish him the best in this endeavor.
Like, it's not like we want him to fail. It's just we want to know what he's doing other than just saying, I want to build a futuristic city that will drive the economy. It'd be like, okay, well, that's kind of what everybody wants to do. That's what all cities want to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, except for retirement cities. But they still kind of want that anyway. Everybody wants good economy in their city. Everybody wants their city to have futuristic luxuries.
Yeah. So, like, again, a lot of what was in that article was buzzwords and expanded out fluff.
Mm-hmm. To attract investors.
Really all it is we want to attract smart people here to innovate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't France already put out a thing for that a while ago?
Everybody tries it every so often, but they don't ever put, particularly like countries, they don't put the effort into it that they really need.
Yeah.
Though Central Europe has been doing pretty good, with the Large Hadron Collider. That kind of drew in a lot of brain power there. Ironically, the U.S. was on track to beat the Large Hadron Collider. They were going to build their own even larger collider.
Really?
Yeah.
What would they call it? The Larger Hadron Collider?
No, it was the Great American something or other.
That sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be the largest collider, because they got a lot of open space in places like Texas, right?
Yeah.
So they were going to do this thing that went across 4 different states. It was going to be huge, but then they canceled the funding for it. And it would have been the center for science for years to come, like the LHC is.
Right.
Well, that would have been cool.
But it would have quickly, surpassed the LHC.
Uh-huh.
So the LHC would have been open for a few years, and then this thing would have opened up, and all the scientists would want to work there.
But they canceled the funding.
They canceled the funding.
Well, now it's not going to happen.
That was Mr. Bush's doing.
Did you hear that The Mandalorian Season 2 is coming to Disney Plus on October 30th?
I did.
We finally
hear
got
about that.
a release date.
Excellent.
It's very exciting.
You guys watched the first season?
We did.
It was excellent?
Yeah.
Yes.
Enjoyed it a lot.
Yes.
It's good Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Standalone episodes with an overarching arc.
Mm-hmm.
We like that.
I also like that you can watch all of Mandalorian without, if you don't know anything about Star Wars, you can still watch it and enjoy it.
Yeah, you didn't need any background.
You didn't need to know anything.
True. So that's a good thing. That's exciting. What else is going on here? Let's see. Do I have any more news from this whole Star Wars thing? Maybe. Nope. Doesn't give us any information on what the season is going to have. It just says it will bring characters like Ahsoka Tano and Boba Fett into the fold. Rosario Dawson is reportedly playing the beloved Jedi from Star Wars The Clone Wars, while Tamara Morrison will be taking on the mantle of the iconic bounty hunter. And there still hasn't been any clarity as to whether or not those were Boba Fett's boots that mysteriously appeared in Season 1. It'll be good no matter what they do.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they pay attention to quality.
That's the thing. Build a good story. That's what they did in the first season.
Ahsoka Tano and Boba Fett were supposed to be getting their own movies or series or something.
They throw so many ideas at the wall that you can't keep track of everything.
As far as I know, they were supposed to be in their own things, not in Mandalorian.
So a lot of the rumors that originally around Boba Fett getting his own show were because people saw things through the Mandalorian. People are idiots. So they see, oh, that guy's in a Mandalorian-style armor. That armor looks like Boba Fett's armor. It's a show about Boba Fett. Run with it. Put an article out. So, I'd like to see Ahsoka Tano get her own show. I don't know if Rosario Dawson is the right person to play a live-action Ahsoka Tano.
Apparently, she looks really awesome in the full-on makeup.
We'll see. Like we'll see when the thing comes on.
I only know based on what the creator said when he saw her in her full-on makeup. Apparently, he was surprised.
And this is the first time we're seeing really original character, like the original, previous characters coming in. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I don't want them to ruin Ahsoka. That's the thing.
Yeah, she is pretty fantastic. But even if they do, it's not like the previous stuff doesn't exist already.
I know, but
they can't make it stop existing.
No, but they can.
I prefer to think of it like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Just because there was that weird Shyamalan movie didn't make the cartoon any less good.
Except that it is not a part of the canon.
That's true, but even if it was, we would ignore it anyway. Because it doesn't change the original.
Yes, but it does taint it with an aftertaste that you know is out there.
Yeah, but I can ignore it.
I cannot.
I'm English. I'm all about repression.
Well,
you just force those feelings down.
And bury it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Deep under your feet.
It's a skill set.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you learn it in certain families.
Yeah. That's one thing, but repressing family things is very easy. It doesn't have an emotional connection. Not like Star Wars.
Right, true enough. You got me there. Kitty, you used to work in a bookstore.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever read anything by Lee Child? Specifically the Jack Reacher series of books?
No, but I know where they are.
Oh, okay. All right. Have you seen the Jack Reacher movies with Tom Cruise?
I have.
And?
I think I saw one.
Yeah. He's no Jack Reacher.
He is no Jack Reacher. Because Jack Reacher is supposed to be 6'4", and Tom Cruise is like 5'2".
Yeah.
So it really doesn't flow. But the good news is that Amazon is developing a Jack Reacher TV series. Alan Richardson currently co-stars on Titans as... I can't even say it. Hank Hall /Hawk, and has also appeared in The Hunger Games: Catching Fire and played Raphael in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. In Lee Child's novels, one of the more distinctive aspects of Jack Reacher is his sheer size, and the fans who took issue with Tom Cruise playing the role in the movies will be pleased to know that Richardson is a much better physical match for the character, standing at 6'4" and weighing 235 pounds.
At 6'4", 235 is not that much weight.
No, because I am 6 foot and I weigh 210. So,
it's so funny because you guys keep saying he's got this impressive size. He's 6'2". He's only like 2 inches taller than you.
No, he's
he's only a half inch taller than you are.
Yeah.
And then he's like 2 inches taller than you, Sean?
Yeah.
So he's not. It's like, oh, he's the same size as almost all the other men that I know right now.
Nice. So the description says, Lee Child has created an incredible character and world. It will be the goal of every writer, producer, actor, executive, and crew member to capture the essence of Mr. Child's books. And luckily, Lee has been there and will continue to be there to help guide us along the way in the series. He is the pulse of Reacher, said Nick Santoro in a previous statement. Who is Nick Santoro is the showrunner, I guess. And Lee Child will also be executive producing the Jack Reacher series, and he added, "It's been great so far, but really the fun starts here. But now I know these guys, and Reacher is in the perfect hands, believe me." So, great character. If you haven't read any of the Jack Reacher books, I highly recommend them. And apparently the first season is going to be based on the first book, The Killing Floor.
Mm.
So that's exciting. It's got to be better than that Tom Cruise set of movies, which didn't quite capture the essence of Jack, if you know what I mean.
I don't know. It's not really the style of book that I read in the first place anyway.
Oh, no?
No.
Oh, that's too bad. Hey, why don't we play some promos and stuff for some stuff here on the ESO network? We'll play some podcast promos.
That sounds good. It looks like we're all being a little too quiet.
Hey, weird podcast people! Join us every week on the Flopcast for a half hour or so of silly conversation about comics, music, Saturday morning cartoons, old movies and TV shows, and chickens. It'll be our little secret. Find us at flopcast.net and on the ESO network.
I'm Drew Leiter.
And I'm Cletus Jacobs.
And we're here on the station surviving the coronavirus. Since you guys are probably quarantined there down on Earth, we'll let you know we got DC news, comics, television shows we're going to be talking about every week. Come join us every week on the Earth Station DCU podcast here on the ESO network.
And weren't those great promos?
Yeah.
If I played 1, 2, or 3, I don't know because I haven't edited them in yet.
Fantastico.
But I'm sure they were awesome, and you guys should go check that out. And you should also check out the Soul Forge podcast and Jump City comic books.
Yeah.
Since we're throwing in some random things right now.
Sure.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, let's see what else we got here in the list. Oh, we've got The Walking Dead is officially ending with season 11.
About 6 seasons too many.
Season 11 is going to be 24 episodes.
Okay.
It's going to be a supersized thing, and then they're going to have a bunch of spin-offs, and they're going to have a Daryl and Carol show.
Which will probably be less jovial than the name we're coming up with leads you to believe. Like, the Daryl and Carol show sounds amazing.
Sounds like a talk show.
Sounds fun, doesn't it?
It sounds like a variety show.
Yeah,
a variety show, yeah.
And that too.
Yeah. This is not going to be that.
Probably not.
Probably not.
No.
Daryl and Carol Burnett.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, so...
They also have a Walking Dead Deluxe Edition.
Do they?
Which is exactly the same as the Walking Dead comics, except now they're in color.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But the whole point of it was black and white.
Yeah, well now it's in color, and you can buy it all again. And I suggest you do. Buy it from me, Jump City Comics.
You know what you can do? You can buy it, color it yourself.
No, you can't. No.
And then buy the colored one and compare and see how well you did.
See how well you did?
That's a good idea. So, the article says there are additional spin-off shows in development as the network is looking to keep some of the popular cast members and characters on board, moving forward with the franchise beyond The Walking Dead's conclusion, but none have been made official at this time. So they're trying to keep the cash cow going.
Well, like, why not? Everything else is doing that, right?
The season 10 finale airs October 4th.
Like, Supernatural ran forever, Star Wars did too many movies, Marvel's still going.
Yeah, but there's a distinction here.
Yeah, but the point is, like, people are...
So, the Walking Dead is about the hopelessness of it all.
Yeah, so eventually you kind of want it to end.
Yeah, because the main
characters
are the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
It's not the zombies.
Yeah.
It's the main characters. You can't do 11 years in the apocalypse. That's too long.
It's a long time.
Yeah, you want them to, like, start having life again at some point, right? But then it would be boring.
You either start settling down and fixing the problem, because, like, how many times you're gonna go to this community and, it turns out the leader's a bad guy.
Surprise.
After, like, the 4th time, you'd be like, wow, fucking he's good enough, I'll stay here. Please.
Yeah, well, they're all bad. It'd just be like, moving from anywhere else to anywhere else.
By this point, like, it's been, how many years? If he's still got a community after so many years?
Yeah, just go with it.
Stay with it.
Be like, yeah, well, they're alive.
It must be working somehow.
Yeah. It made me want to be an evil person, though, that runs a community and has a tiger.
You should do it.
I should, right?
What's holding you back?
Nothing's really holding you back.
Well, Josh says I'm not allowed to have any more cats.
We have 2. That's a good amount.
None of them are tiger.
Camel's like a tiger.
He's not a tiger.
He's a sleepy kitty.
He's so friendly.
He is. He is very friendly.
I want an attack tiger. He wouldn't attack people.
He might if you rubbed his belly.
Yeah, but, like, that's all.
Welcome to CatCast. Hey, so Neve Campbell has confirmed that she is returning to the role of Sidney Prescott for Scream 5. She was the lone holdout because, of course, Courtney Cox and David Arquette reprised their roles or signed on board for it. And they were
really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be.
I'm sorry. When was the original Scream?
Early '90s.
Yeah, I love Courtney Cox Arquette and David Arquette.
Do you?
They're great.
Like, I don't.
I think they met on the set of Friends.
I think they met on the movie actually, but I don't remember for sure.
But Friends was out before the movie.
Oh, and Jack Quaid is joining the movie. And of course, Jack Quaid is from The Boys.
I haven't watched The Boys. I feel like maybe it's too violent for me.
It might be. Season 2 is out. I haven't started it yet. But
I'm such a sweet and nice lady.
So 96
is when the first came out?
Is when Scream came out.
Okay.
That's a long time.
It's 24 years ago.
Yeah.
And they've done 4 movies and a TV show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did do a TV show. Apparently the TV show is really good.
Couldn't tell you. Never saw it.
I don't know if you'd like it, because you aren't really into horror things.
Not really, no.
Yeah, you like zombie movies and monster movies, but not horror.
No.
And neither one of you like ghosts, right?
I am much opposed to supernatural films.
Is it just supernatural in general, or like how far is bad? Okay, because like vampires are supernatural.
That's fine.
So like you're okay with like monster supernatural?
Yeah. Don't give me crucifixions and exorcisms and hauntings.
Okay. But like monsters are okay.
Yeah, monsters are fine.
Monsters are fine.
Monsters aren't real.
So most ghost movies are either way too slow and all about the deep drama of it.
Yeah.
Or jump scare films.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of the jump scare film.
I like both. I love all horror movies.
All of them?
That's not true. I don't like things like Saw.
I love Saw.
Where it's just like
Those
a crazy gore
the
fest.
torture porn.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Loved it.
No, I'm not into that either.
I think. Remember when I was telling you guys about The Haunting of Hill House?
Yes.
Yeah.
That one's very slow and is all about the drama surrounding the haunting. And then it only has like a few... I think there's only one jump scare. And then the rest of it is just like a creepy, haunted feeling to it. But it's mostly about the drama of the thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's really good.
Like, I'm glad you enjoy it, but like it's not for me.
No.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of like the ghost story or the possession story. Most of those are just terrible. I can't watch like the Possession of Emily Rose or whatever it was called.
That was based on a different thing.
Yeah.
Possession of Emily Rose. It was based on a family with a mother, a father, and 2 boys. There was no girl at all. I think the boy was named Charlie, and they lived in an old funeral home.
Okay. But like those films, I can't watch them. They're not for me.
They freak me out and I don't like them.
Oh, I love them. Like even so, I know it's not really connected, but the Haunting of Emily or Possession of Emily Rose.
I don't remember.
Whatever that one was called. That one was based off of a quote unquote documentary based on reported actual happenings of that other family. And shortly after I watched that is when, maybe like a year or 2 afterward, is when the Emily Rose one came out. And it became very obvious that that's what that was based off of. I'm surprised at how much they changed for it. But the documentary is really good. Way scarier than the other movie. I like being scared. You guys don't like being spooked or scared?
No.
I enjoy a good monster film. Watch something like Alien. I really enjoy.
Yeah, Alien's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But I don't know, most horror I don't like.
So there we go. So we won't do a horror podcast.
Probably not now.
Okay. Fair enough.
Can we do a horror podcast?
A horror podcast?
Yeah, not a horror podcast.
A horror podcast.
Yeah.
That's a different thing.
That is a totally different thing.
Yeah.
We'll have to change the rating on the show.
Probably.
Definitely.
Yeah. Definitely explicit. Yes.
G?
Uh-huh.
For good?
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's get into some trailers and some Star Trek news. And what we'll do is we'll start by playing the newest trailer for Star Trek Discovery Season 3. We'll play it right here.
We traveled into the future. 930 years. A one-way trip. No going back.
Welcome to Discovery. Come in. Discovery, did you copy?
You have reached year 3188.
Is there life here? Anywhere?
Multiple life signs detected.
We are completely disconnected, but we are also together. You know, from around these parts. The Federation mostly collapsed after the burn.
What's the burn?
The burn was the day the galaxy took a hard left.
The Federation isn't just about ships. The Federation is its people.
I've always believed that you were out there somewhere, and that we were a part of the Federation no matter what. Welcome to the future.
Dysfunction aside, we all make a pretty good team.
Dysfunction is the team.
We've just accepted it.
No, we haven't.
True believer.
Yeah.
Time traveler.
There was no other way.
The thing is, you got no authority here.
Let's show them who we are. We all want a future that's real, that matters. The Federation gave us the resources and the mandate to solve the biggest, most troublesome problems in the galaxy. And I may question, and I may fear, because the problems often seem insurmountable. But haven't we always risen to meet them? We have work to do, but if things were easy...
It wouldn't be worth it. Huh?
And that was a fantastic trailer, wasn't it, gang?
Yes, of course.
Yes. So I'm going to get into some general Star Trek news. And it says here that the Toronto area will be home next year to a second Star Trek series. Cameras are scheduled to roll on Star Trek Strange New Worlds from February to July at CBS Stages Canada, the former Kraft Canada warehouse on Matheson Boulevard in Mississauga.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm. So a fourth season of Star Trek Discovery starts filming next month, roughly 30 kilometers east at Pinewood, Toronto Studios. Season 3 premieres October 15th. Strange New Worlds is a prequel to the original Star Trek series, which ran from 1966 to 69 and starred Canada's William Shatner and James Doohan, focusing on the USS Enterprise before Captain Kirk took command. Strange New Worlds executive producer Alex Kurtzman told Deadline this week that we're going to do standalone episodes. There will be emotional serialization. There will be two-parters. There will be larger plot arcs. But it really is back to the model of Alien of the Week, Planet of the Week, Challenge on the Ship of the Week.
That could be really fun.
You mean Star Trek?
Yeah.
The way all the other Star Trek was done and everybody loved it?
Yeah, that way. Yes.
Oh, I'm really excited about that. That'll be fun.
Yes, and it starts filming in February.
In Toronto.
Yes.
In an old craft factory.
In an old craft factory, probably where they make craft dinner and other craft-related products.
Cheese.
And things.
Yeah, Kraft loves cheese. And peanut butter.
And salad dressings.
And salad dressing.
I like their peanut butter.
I know, I like their peanut butter too. I like their Kraft dinner and their cheese. Kraft is good.
Yes, it is.
We are not sponsored by Kraft.
No, I wish we were.
Yet.
It'd be cool if we were,
Yet. So
you're going to enjoy some of that Kraft peanut butter, aren't you?
Yes, sir. I love it, especially the crunchy.
Oh, no. Dear God, man.
We are
What's wrong
a
with you?
smooth house.
No,
Smooth.
only crunchy for this.
No. You have to have smooth peanut butter.
I can't stand smooth peanut butter.
Really?
No, I need the crunch.
Really?
Yeah.
Crunchy peanut butter maintains that bitterness of the core of the peanut.
I don't know what you've been eating, but there's no bitterness in Kraft. Kraft is smooth.
I've had Kraft
rich
crunchy and I've had Kraft smooth, and I am a smooth peanut butter guy.
I think it's just when I spread things, I like the thing that I'm spreading to be smooth. Like, you don't want to spread margarine and have chunks in it.
No.
That's weird.
Kraft, we bring good things to life.
Yeah.
Ha.
Please sponsor us.
Send payable checks too. So, the crew of the Discovery made a terrible sacrifice at the end of Season 2, leaving their lives as they knew them behind and flinging the ship 930 years into the future, where the Federation is in some dire straits of its own again. Now it seems it's up to Michael and her friends to remind them of what the Federation has fought hard to stand for. Star Trek's all-encompassing Star Trek Day, which was actually this past September 8th, because that was the 54th anniversary of Star Trek premiering on television. So they'd had a big live stream event that kicked off with the latest look at the third season of Discovery with the trailer that we just played earlier. It says, after introducing us once more to the premise that this is the Federation of the 32nd century, one battered and shattered by a strange cataclysm called The Burn. The new trailer gives us a taste of the tough times facing Discovery's crew as they acclimatize to the strange new world they find themselves in, from strange tech to mysterious new factions, as well as some of the new characters they'll meet in this distant future, including David Ayala's mysterious book, who looks like he'll become very close to the Discovery crew.
Okay, so...
He's a book?
That's his name. His name is Book, or Booker.
Ah, okay.
So that bothers me.
What part?
So if you brought somebody, how many years? 900 and what?
30. They're in the year 3188.
So 930 years.
Yeah.
So if you brought somebody from 1080 to modern times.
Yes.
Discounting the fact that scientific progression is actually an exponential curve, as more people are literate in progressing in the scientific field, the knowledge just continues to grow exponentially.
Right.
How are these people, who are equivalent to somebody from 1080, going to interact in a world where technology is that far ahead of them?
You can find out October 15th. It's going to be great.
No, because they're going to say, oh no, these intrepid people from 1,000 years ago can just figure out modern technology.
Because once you're in the future anyway, going in the future a little bit more is no big deal.
Would the language thing even adapt to them?
If they have UTs, yes. Universal translators.
Yeah, I know, but like the universal translator works off of languages that it knows already, right?
No, it can learn new languages.
It can learn new... Oh, okay.
That's how you run into a new species and you figure it out.
Sometimes it takes a while.
Yeah, I thought it took a while for it to go, though.
Only if that's a plot point.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the languages follow the same kind of pattern. So
but that many years in the future, like how likely is it that we'd still be speaking the same form of whatever it was that
well,
we're
if you
speaking?
listen to somebody, like, you can find clips of people speaking Old English from 1,000 years ago, recreating the language, you can understand a lot of what they're saying. Pronunciation sounds weird, but you can go, okay, I get most of what was being said.
But even 70 or 80 years is a lot different, because if you listen to radio broadcasts from the 40s, where they all talk like this, you see.
I could be one of those broadcasters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could.
Like, the language does slip, but you listen to somebody from 200 years ago, you make them out perfectly fine.
You and I were able to go and watch Shakespearean plays, which was modern at the time. And we understood it. But people from my own class who watched it with me had no idea what was going on.
It's not that hard for a thing who's designed to translate languages, particularly if there's any kind of intercommunication between your UT and my UT. My UT goes, okay, this is what he's saying. Your UT goes, oh, that's Old English. Here, direct translation, there you go.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And if everybody's wearing one, right, everybody's talking with them, because they're ubiquitous, then they just give a quick link up and go, okay, this is what we got.
Well, I guess that's good. It's still weird, though. There'd be so many things that would be different.
I think they're going to address some of that. I remember reading, but that could be another show that I'm thinking about, too. So, hard to know. But
hard no.
Hard to know.
Oh, okay. I thought you just said hard no.
Hard no.
I was
definitely
like, what,
no.
Sean?
Hard no.
Saying no to Star Trek? That doesn't sound likely.
No, it's not.
And how connected is this version of the pre-Kirk Enterprise? This is the same Pike as from Discovery, right?
Yes.
So the Discovery universe is directly connected to this, and we're going to see the Klingons looking like they do instead of being smooth-skinned as explained by the episode of Worf.
Don't know, because when we watched Lower Decks, which takes place the year after Nemesis, they had a Klingon, cartoon Klingon, of course, but he had like the Next Generation thing. So even though it's made by the Discovery cohorts...
Well, okay, Lower Decks doesn't count, though.
Oh, it's canon.
Yeah, but it doesn't count.
Why not?
Because it's a comedy parody of Star Trek. You can't count it as canon, because the way it's set up is literally, that's not how any kind of paramilitary organization would actually run.
True enough. Have you seen any more episodes?
I have seen one more episode.
Okay.
And yeah, no.
Yeah. Hard no?
I'll give another episode, but it's hard for me to get the episodes.
Okay. That's fair.
And if I have to work at getting a show where I'm going, Do you think I'm going to keep doing it?
Probably not.
No.
Okay, so I got more information. Star Trek Discovery is heading into a new unknown next season, but the crew of the USS Discovery won't be alone. CBS All Access has announced that 2 new characters are joining the cast for Season 3 and will be the franchise's first explicitly non-binary and transgender characters. In an announcement on StarTrek.com, the network confirmed that trans actor Ian Alexander and newcomer Blue Del Barrio are joining Star Trek Discovery for Season 3. Alexander and Barrio will be playing the first explicitly transgender and non-binary characters in the Star Trek universe, respectively. Alexander will be playing Gray, an unjoined Trill who is eager to fulfill her lifelong dream of being a Trill host, but he will have to adapt when his life takes an unexpected turn. And Barrio will be playing Adira, a young but confident person with memory loss who forms a bond with Lieutenant Commander Paul Stamets and Hugh Culber.
Okay, so I have a generalized problem with the concept of a trans person being distinguishable in Star Trek. Because of the way their surgery has been portrayed, you can make a human look like a Vulcan. You can make a human look like a Klingon. You can make a human look like a... Why can't you get a perfect, and I mean perfect, like internal organs and everything, transition?
Yeah, you could totally do it.
Because you can rewrite DNA, right?
Yeah.
You can do perfect cosmetic surgery.
I could see non-binary, because then you're...
I don't have a problem with the non-binary character. It's the idea...
Like, if you were being a trans person, you wouldn't have to state as such, because you would just be who you are now, as you identify now, because they could just do it.
They could do a perfect transition.
Yeah.
So I don't get that. I also don't get ugly people in Star Trek. Particularly like Next Gen and on, there should be no ugly people.
Because we've bred the ugliness out?
No, because cosmetic surgery isn't just cosmetic anymore. They do it right down to your DNA.
Ah, yes, right, true.
Because they can do, like, perfect surgery, and you do not think that there's going to be cosmetic surgeons everywhere? Like, yeah, you can't do frivolous DNA things without a good reason? No, because it's against the law in the Federation.
I know, but, like, also you wouldn't have people who have like, inconvenient deformities, like cleft palate, or...
Yeah, all that's removed.
All of that would be fixed. They'd fix it right down to your DNA, and you just wouldn't have to deal with all of the challenges of having that anymore. It'd be kind of great.
So
nobody would be born with all kinds of strange... Mina's weird eye. That'd be super easy to fix already, because you just fix it, and she wouldn't have weak muscles in her eye anymore.
There you go.
But what I have a problem with is a trans person would just straight transition. There'd be an indistinguishableness, which is the ideal. You want if you want to transition, so perfectly that nobody can tell.
Right.
Because that's you.
Yeah.
That's the perfect you. And if they could perform a perfect surgery that transformed you from a physically a female into a man, and you got all the working bits now, and you can do everything with all the working bits perfectly, as if it's natural.
Fully functional, aren't you?
Of course, but
How fully?
in every way, of course. I am programmed in multiple techniques. A broad variety of pleasuring.
Because
it is cool that they're hiring trans people, though.
I get that.
Yeah.
I just
like that
don't
part is good,
get
but I don't get why would you make it a
universe.
distinguishable thing, because they would just get to be who they are because they could just change it.
Yeah. I don't get the in-universe explanation. Well, I have no problems with a trans character in the universe.
Yep.
Like, I transitioned, okay, and have them played, because you can do a perfect transition. There would be no going, oh, that person looks
Yeah,
different.
nobody
And,
would
like,
refer to
unless-
it as having, like, your dead name or anything like that, because it wouldn't...
Culturally, by that point, we'd be beyond that. Also, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Maybe it's about, like, an alien race that, like, didn't have the technological capabilities, and they're gonna show the...
Maybe?
Well, I guess
because that would make sense.
Find
'cause
out
then
October 15th.
they'd have people around who, like, knew them before and know them now, and maybe they will have some kind of perfect transition. That'd be kind of cool. So, like, Depending on how they do it, it could be really good, and depending on how they do it, it could not make any sense, but still be okay, I
Let's
guess.
just hope they don't fumble it.
Yeah, I hope they don't fumble it.
That's the important part, is not messing it up.
That's right.
Because there is nothing worse than putting a character in for even a tokenistic reason and fumbling that character.
Exactly.
Like when they did their first interracial kiss on first Star Trek between Uhura and...
Kirk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plato's stepchildren.
Yeah. If they fumbled that, it would have been awful.
Yes.
So anyway, that's what's happening in the world of Star Trek. I got some more trailers for you, though.
What about Dune?
That'll be the last trailer we play.
I'm so excited about that one.
Well, we are now going to play the trailer for LX 2048.
All you early risers, day creatures, noon lizards, people of the sun, be careful out there. Sunburn cutoff is 7:22 p.m. and toxic level drop-off is 8:05.
The big heat-up happened. It created this desperate need for augmented day workers, and human cloning was born.
Do you ever go out there and look at the sun with your own eyes?
You just take your lithium X like everybody else.
What is it that you feel you have failed with? You're on Premium 3. When you're dead, you'll be eligible for a total upgrade.
I wouldn't want to live without you, okay? Is that such a bad thought?
You can tailor your insurance spouse so that maybe they come back to you just perfect.
There's nothing to do, baby. It's already been done.
Calm down, or it's gonna be very messy.
Why does it seem like I'm the only one that feels this way?
We're all connected.
Are you afraid to die?
I don't feel any pain. Actually, I don't feel anything at all.
Imagine yourself feeling better, looking better.
Did you not think it was dangerous playing God like that?
One person can set something in motion, and the rest of the world is never the same again.
Okay, so that was the trailer for LX 2048, and the synopsis on IMDb is: in the near future, the sun has become so toxic people can no longer leave their houses in daytime, and normal life is conducted mostly inside the virtual realm. Against this dystopian backdrop, a dying man seeks to ensure the future well-being of his family while coping with what it means to be human in this new reality. What do you think?
I think it looks cool. It might be too close to, like, a possible actual future for me to want to watch something so dystopian that doesn't look like it's going to end super happy.
So, like, I like the concept of the diving into the virtual world to escape reality and to interact, right? That's fine. I like that. I don't like the bad science of the sun being toxic.
Yeah, is it? I don't know if it's the sun itself, or if it's the ozone, or the pollution, or what. But
ironically, the ozone layer has been repaired.
Right, because of COVID.
Before that.
Even before that.
Yeah.
Oh.
We got rid of the harmful chemicals.
The CFCs.
And it started closing.
Right.
The activism of the 80s worked.
Is it fully repaired?
For the most part, yeah.
Well,
they're doing amazingly well on its healing.
I don't know if it was just like a lazy writer writing the IMDb, because they didn't mention in the trailer the sun being toxic. They said the hot times have come. And just it seemed like people just could not go out in the sun because it was just too damn hot.
It's like in the first RoboCop where you had your SPF 2 million.
Yeah.
Remember the blue covering? And you couldn't go for more than like half an hour or something?
Yeah. So like from what it looked like, it's just that you burn too easy and it's just too damn hot. And both of those things are kind of becoming a thing.
So I have a bit of a problem with that. But it looks like an interesting, like a high concept sci-fi. And I think it looks good. So I think I'll give this one a chance.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys remember that weird, I think it was what the hell was that show called? We used to watch it all the time. It's not Twilight Zone.
Outer Limits.
Outer Limits. Do you remember the Outer Limits episode where they thought that the aliens had infected the children with the thing, and they all started getting like scale skin?
Yeah.
And then it turned out that that there was a reason behind them doing it in the first place?
Yeah, the radiation from the sun changed.
Because the sun was changing from one type of star into a different type of star, and they made it so that it could at least infect the children because they were trying to save the next generation of people, of humans. Did you see that one?
I don't think
I did. Oh, it's so good. You would love Outer Limits. So much of it is so good.
I've seen some of it. But yeah.
That episode is really, really good.
You know what one I recently thought about?
Which one?
Do you remember the episode in The Outer Limits where there are 5 people in underground bunkers and they have bombs that will blow up the earth? Then they have to press a button every day to prevent the bombs from going off. So, like, at least one person has to press the button amongst the 5. And aliens are coming to invade. And it's down to the last guy, and he's like, I haven't heard anything from anybody. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And he decides he's not going to do it. And then at the last few seconds, he gets a communication from the White House, and everything seems fine. And the president's like, look, we beat them back. We've done it. We saved everybody. Just keep pressing the button. Buildings came down where you were a thing. It's going to take a long time to get to you, but keep pressing the button. Then it pans out, and it's the aliens actually puppeting the president.
I don't remember that one.
No, that was, I don't know what that one's called, but I've been thinking about that episode for the last couple of weeks, actually.
I love Outer Limits.
You know what you also love?
What?
Dune.
Dune!
There's something happening to me. There's something awakening in my mind. I can't control it.
What did you see?
There's a crusade coming.
Do you often dream things that happen just as you dreamed them?
Yes.
The test is simple. Remove your hand from the box, and you die.
What's in the box?
Pain. You inherit too much power. You have proven you can rule yourself. Now you must learn to rule others. Something none of your ancestors learned.
My father rules an entire planet.
He's losing it.
He's getting a richer one.
He'll lose that one too. Arrakis is a death trap.
Kill him. This is an extermination. They're picking my family off one by one.
Let's fight like demons.
An animal caught in a trap will gnaw off its own leg to escape. What will you do?
I know you.
One day, the legend will be born. All of civilization depends on it.
The future. I can see it. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer.
My Lord Duke.
Where the fear is gone, only I will remain.
Go, go, go!
do love Dune.
How about that trailer?
It looks fan-freaking-tastic.
Does
Are you
it?
going to play it for the audience, or is it just too much
Oh, I already played it.
Oh.
That's why I said, how about that trailer?
I really want to see this.
Because I tried to read the book several times. I couldn't.
I don't know if I could read the book.
I couldn't watch the movie from the 80s.
I love the 80s movie. I've seen it so many times.
I can't get into it.
Did you watch the miniseries Children of Dune?
God, no.
Oh.
No, so...
But they're all so good.
This does
I
not...
can't wait to watch this.
This doesn't look good. Doesn't interest me. Doesn't look exciting. Cinematography looks great, but...
I think you should give the books another try. Get the audiobook.
Maybe that I could do, because reading it was a slog, and I just couldn't get past the first few pages.
I'd have to listen to the audiobook because, for whatever reason, the way that it's written, my dyslexia is really bad when I'm trying to read it.
And I wanted to. I wanted to like it, because it's a huge thing. But I couldn't.
You walk a lot, so put it in your audiobook and just listen to it.
Yeah, that might be an option.
Oh, man.
This looks fantastic.
Does it?
This looks fantastic.
Does it look close to what the story is, from what you can tell from the 2-minute
yeah.
trailer?
Certain parts look like almost word for word the same.
So, there are two things it's going to be compared against.
Okay.
It's going to be compared against the books.
Yeah.
And it's going to be compared to the 1984 movie.
Right.
And that's going to be a hard set of comparisons. There are going to be people coming into it like Katie, who's never read the book, but she loves the movie and the miniseries.
Although I'm fully aware of how certain parts of the book are vastly different from the movie, and the movie is wrong, because at the end of the first movie, a thing happens that you couldn't do because it would kill all the worms.
You can just say it. It's from 1984.
Some people...
It's pre-you. It's pre-you.
I know, but some people are going to be watching this movie for the first time, and it is very similar to the first one, and I don't know how they're going to end it.
They're not going to do the water scene.
They better not.
Anyways.
But I freaking love Dune. But I'll take anything. I'll take whatever I can get. All the Dune, all the time.
All right. Well, this is directed by Denis Villeneuve, the guy who directed Blade Runner 2049, which I haven't seen either, because I didn't like Blade Runner. So, yeah.
What do you think of the new sandworm?
I always love sandworms.
Yeah, but what do you think of that design for the sandworm?
I think I'd like to see more than just head-on. I want to see it from the side of its body.
I don't know about the mouth.
I don't know about the mouth either, because what is it eating? It doesn't need many, many sharp teeth. It is a worm in the sand. Worms usually don't have teeth. But it's fine. Maybe it's eating stuff.
It's a space worm.
Yeah.
It can have teeth.
It's a sandworm.
Yeah, on a different planet.
I was telling Jules recently about Dune. Before I knew there was going to be a new one, which she might be able to get through, because original Dune is very slow. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people have trouble dealing with it. And then a lot of it is politics.
Even though Captain Picard is in it, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Even though, a lot of it is politics. But I tried to tell her about the cult of wacky space nuns, the Bene Gesserit.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you don't know. You have to...
I've heard you guys mention all these terms before.
I was telling her about them, and I was like, so there's this boy... Paul Atreides. Mm-hmm. His mom is the leader of a cult of space nuns.
She's not the leader. She's not even the head sister. She becomes...
She pulls a lot of strings.
She pulls a lot of strings, but she's not the leader. The leader is the one that tests Paul.
Yeah.
And then she becomes a mother superior on Arrakis when she's given the waters of life.
Yeah.
And that's why her daughter is also a mother superior, because she was pregnant at the time.
Yeah. It's pretty great. So, she pulls a bunch of strings to make things fit the ideas that she has. So, there's this prophecy. So, she does all of these different things to make it so that Paul's going to hit all of these... You know how most mothers, they're excited for their children to hit their milestones?
Yeah.
Well, she sets it up so he...
Fails?
Happens to hit all the milestones to become the one who fulfills the prophecy.
Oh.
But, there's only so much you can do as a space nun. But when I told Julie that they're a cult of weird space nuns, she got super into it. And that they have this weird hand jive. So, if you and I are talking about one thing on the surface, oh, the weather's so nice today. You and I have got a secret conversation going with sign language that is not actually sign language. Oh. But we're talking in spy code.
Gotta love those space nuns.
Yeah! And then there's sandworms, and then there's fighting, and frickin' Duck in Idaho Josh is really excited about because it's going to be frickin' Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa and Drax are in this.
Yeah!
So Aquaman and Drax.
Yeah, and then I've always wanted to be Baron Harkonnen.
So
I first watched this movie when I was like 3 years old, and for some reason I wanted to be him. I wanted to be a big, ugly, powerful dude who floated around in a hover chair and got uglier as time went on, but retained his power until he ultimately died.
So you guys are excited for this film?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're probably going to go see it in theaters.
Can we go see it in theater? Oh my freaking god! Can we dress up?
No.
What? No. Why?
Because
It's the perfect time for having respirator masks.
Yeah, they don't wear respirator masks. They wear a stealth suit.
Yeah, but we could do a mask instead. We'll just be like the less fortunate people of Dune.
On that lovely note, I think we'll end the podcast right here.
Oh, I was going to talk about a book that I listened to that's
well,
pretty good.
Go ahead.
So, I'm like 3/4 of the way through it.
Yeah.
It's called 7 Eves by Neil Stephenson.
Oh, Neil Stephenson, yes.
It's a very good book. It's about, like, something blows up the moon.
Oh.
And, like, it's going to rain down chunks of rock on the Earth. So they got to get up into space to try to save people. And it's all about that. And there's good, hard SF to it. And I like a good, hard SF story.
Yeah.
It's about survival. And the other night, Katie's like, she was talking to me. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm at a point in the book. We pause this because the Earth is blowing up. And she said, oh, okay. I'll leave you to your book because the Earth is blowing up.
Nice.
And
what's it called?
7 Eves.
7 Eves, okay.
One word. Like, at first I said, what is this supposed to be for the title? But it's 7 Eves.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very good book so far.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm about 3/4 of the way through it. And I highly recommend it. So far. It might have a bad ending. If it has a bad ending, in 2 weeks I'll come back to you. No, I won't. In 4 weeks I'll come back to you and tell you it has a bad ending. I'm sorry for recommending it. If it does. If it doesn't, I won't say anything.
Okay, that's fair. All right, sounds good. Because you're going to be hunting, and so I don't know what's going to happen with the podcast for the next little bit. But that's for future us to worry about. So thanks for letting me come into your house and talk into a microphone in front of your faces. That was awesome. I'm glad you guys could join me. Listeners, hope you enjoyed it as well. What should they do, Josh? They should send us emails.
Sure.
They should go to Jump City Comic Books. They should listen to Soulforge Podcast. Other podcasts on the ESO Network. Go to the website and send us a donation through the coffee account.
I was going to say, there's a way they can chip in.
Yes, either go to therustedrobot.podbean.com and see the coffee account donate button link, or just go to ko-fi.com/rustedsoul.
Did you hear that, Kraft?
Yeah, Kraft, you can donate through your sponsorship links because we love your peanut butter and your cheese slices.
All the things, really.
That's right. So anyway,
dinner in particular.
Dinner?
Yeah, Kraft dinner is a big thing here.
And on that lovely note, thanks for coming by, thanks for listening, and remember, the spice is life. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Rusted Robot Podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we hope you'll tune in again next time. Remember that you can visit therustedrobot.podbean.com for all of our social media links, and don't forget to share the show with everyone you know. The Rusted Robot Podcast is your best source for geek-style pop culture news.
I could do this all day.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.